Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest aliens and UFOs encounters video. Well, the other day I started a new video, a new playlist of sorts when it comes to encounters from a new subreddit. They're from the reddit.com website, this subreddit being called Experiencers. This is a strange subreddit where it could deal with encounters with aliens/grays, but it could also be something else. It could be some form of either entity or non-entity, something where people allow themselves to have contact, they voluntarily do so, with whatever is out there that wants to make contact with them. I had a lot of red flags when I was talking about this information last time, and I still have some trepidation here. But the other video did get some good views, some good comments, interesting ones as well. So I thought I would share this one here. Let's see what you guys and gals think about this, and then I'll give my own thoughts and opinions on it too. But it comes from a user by the name of Getsu Fuma. They titled theirs as First Time Experience. And again, it'll give you an idea of essentially how these encounters differentiate from your standard alien/gray abduction. So here's what they stated. I would like to preface this by saying I only thought myself to be a permanent lurker here. The stories here have been so interesting. I never thought I would have any experience of my own, but here it is. I recently have been consciously allowing permission of any positive beings to give me contact. I'm very skeptical about the validity of such things, but I thought, why not? This story is going to come off as very anticlimactic as I am inexperienced. So I just woke up from a dream where something gave me contact for a brief moment. I was talking to a bartender in my dream when suddenly I became lucid. This made me extremely aware of the people sitting around me. The bartender kept going on and on about our initial conversation when I noticed this man sitting at the bar to my right. He was staring directly at me. I remember the detail in his green eyes. It was so realistic, I felt like for a moment it was real life. The first thing I noticed was he was changing form. I understand this can be common within a dream. He went from two eyes to a third eye in the middle. His pupils distorting periodically, but when in focus, he was extremely vivid. I don't recall exactly how I started our conversation, but I said something along the lines of, "You're one of them." And so he chuckled and replied, "So you've picked me out." And it hit me instantly that I was standing across from something that wasn't my imagination. He said he was a hologram, but used a different term that escapes me at the moment. I asked if that was in the context of him projecting himself from another dimension, and he simply said yes. I was blown away and told him how amazing that was to me. He seemed extremely amused by this. I wanted to ask him questions, but maybe I came unprepared. I began to ask him if he was a positive energy. This is where he began to disassociate with our conversation. He was no longer interested. Was my question too selfish or not intelligent enough? I told him goodbye, and so we walked separate ways. This has left me feeling confused. The immediate thoughts I had while waking up is that I am selfish and narcissistic. I need to change these things about myself before I can continue to conversate with higher beings. Has anyone else had a similar experience? And then that's it. That's everything associated from the user Getsu Fuma. Again, the title there is his first time experience from the subreddit called Experiencers. So let's talk about that here. Again, you can see how farly different this type of encounter is, right? From your classic alien abduction. On the classic alien abduction, you have something where somebody, no volunteering on their end, they suddenly got grabbed up in the sky or who knows where on some farmland somewhere, and then they get into a ship, and then they have, in some cases, very frightful encounters. Here, though, this user was actually allowing permission, as they described it, for any positive beings to give them contact. And then lo and behold, he had a dream that night, but in that dream, he became lucid. He became self-aware. And then that's when he noticed somebody staring at him. And whoever this person was, whoever this entity was, they started to change form. The third eye coming out, in other words, in their face. Was this their real form or something else? And then they started to converse with them. And it was interesting, actually, the part that kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies was when the user stated that you're one of them, and then that person or that user or whoever it was, in terms of that non-entity, stated, so you've picked me out. So it shows intelligence. They knew that they were eavesdropping on that person's dream. They knew that they were there, like watching whatever was happening, seeing what would happen next, and then lo and behold, they got caught. And so when that happened, it was amusing to them. That shows almost a very human characteristic. Instead of taking a completely like scientific angle, this was yet another almost human experience, like a human emotion, in terms of this non-entity chuckling to themselves, almost like in a wow, I guess I got caught type manner. And then they started conversing. And in another similar manner, whenever the user asked, almost in a joyful manner, are you a positive energy? That's when apparently that was too lowbrow for whatever this entity was, and they decided to no longer converse with this lower entity, and then that was it. Conversation was over, and the user walked away. That also kind of gave me a little bit of I don't know, not fright, but a little bit of trepidation, because here you have an entity that considers you, like in other words, you, me, another human, and so on, as beneath them. So even asking innocent questions like that, they hold them as contempt. And to them, this is something that they don't want to even deal with for 1 second. They're going to be gone and goodbye. They don't want to talk to you again. Doesn't that kind of seem scary? Somebody that would basically think that you're not human enough or human, and that you are beneath them altogether. That's the impression that I got. Rather than this user asking themselves, wow, why did I ask that? Am I too selfish? Am I not intelligent enough? No, I took it the other way. I took it the way that this entity, whatever it was that came aboard this dream, mind you, they didn't come with permission when it came to the user, like they just decided to shove themselves in. No, I got the impression that they absolutely hold some contempt for the user, and they were just there eavesdropping just to see what other type of tea or something else that they could do in a gossipy manner, and then they were able to leave at that point. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on that. But let me know what you guys and gals think. You see why I hold a little bit of hesitation on this stuff, because who would voluntarily want creatures like this to converse with, to almost do so in a manner where it's out of your control? You're sleeping. Everyone has to sleep. So the fact that this thing, whatever it was, can then just eavesdrop, walk into someone's dream uninvited, and then do so, and then almost mock the person at the same time, that all seems like bad juju to me. So I would not do it. And again, I hold strong warnings to anyone out there if they wanted to try something like this as well. But let me know what you guys and gals think. I might continue this series afterward and present more stories, more encounters too. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.